Welcome you all for this fourth lecture. This is one of the important topic which we are going to discuss in computational intelligence, that is natural language processing. And the content which we are going to discuss in this video lecturing is basically the first thing we are going to discuss about the introduction of natural language processing, and secondly we are going to discuss about the various components and how does the natural language process works, and we'll conclude this video lecture with a conclusion. An introduction part, we are going to see what is mean by natural language processing, and how does the natural language processing is useful for machines, and why we go for this natural language processing. We are having many such processes, and why we are concentrating on natural language processing, how it is more effective than many other language processing which is being used in this current situation. And first is what is mean by natural language processing. Natural language processing is nothing but a process the information contained in natural language text, and what are the information we are giving as an input to the computer, it can understand it and give the output as a necessity which mean by the user, and that will be done using this natural language processing. Basically, this natural language processing is also called by many other terms. The first one is computational linguistic human language technology, that is HLT, and natural language engineering, NLE. These three are the other names which a natural language processing been referred as. And why we are going for natural language processing, that is specifically meant for machines. That's the thing we are going to see here. And when we see the natural language processing basically it used to analyze, understand and generate the human language just like humans do. And as natural language processing is nothing but a type of a language which a machine can do the same activities like analyzing, understanding and generating the output as per the necessity of the user. For this process we are using this natural language processing, and it also includes linguistic concepts, psycholinguistic, cognitive science and statistics. As we all know that linguistic is nothing but the understanding of machine through text or speech, and psycholinguistic similar way. Cognitive science and statistics is a mathematical way of orienting the data, and these are the things important concepts why the machines make use of this natural language processing, and why we are going for this natural language processing. And natural language processing is said as an hallmark of human intelligence, that is masterpiece, and it is one of the best innovative way and refer to all other concept used in artificial intelligence. And one of the main important source is a text, and it is the large repository of human language and is growing quickly, and so that the computer program that understand text or speech. That's why, because the text is understand, the computer program that can be understand very well explained by the text or speech, this process can be rendered by using this natural language processing. And we are going to see the component and the process, and we are going to see with components of natural language processing, and what are the steps we have in natural language processing, and what are the various techniques and the methods we are using in this natural language processing. Components, basically it has two components, that is natural language understanding and natural language generation. In natural language understanding, what we are going to do is, it is just the mapping function, the mapping the given input in the natural language into a useful representation. What we are going to do is, what are the inputs given by the user in their own natural language, that will be formalized in some useful representation, and this being done using this natural language understanding. Natural language understanding has various levels of analyzing the input text, and that are said as 4 levels. First one is morphological analysis, syntactic analysis, semantic analysis, and discourse analysis, which will later discuss briefly in the next coming slides. And the second component, first one is natural language understanding, and second component in natural language process is natural language generation. In this natural language generation, what the process going to be happen is the input which being received from the user produces the output in a natural language from some internal representation. This is the fact happening in the natural language generation. That is, in natural language generation, we are generating and producing the output from some internal representation. Okay, different level of synthesis required in natural language generation. They are, first one is deep learning, and second one is syntactic generation. These are the two level of synthesis which we followed in the natural language generation. Basically, natural language generation, it works out to express it in a natural language, that is English. It basically generates all the output in the form of English, which is being understood by everyone. And we are seeing here within four steps we are having in this natural language processing. First one is morphological and lexical analysis, syntactic analysis, semantic analysis, discourse generation, and last one is pragmatic analysis. These are the five steps we have in natural language processing, and we are going to discuss about all the steps in detail. The first step is morphological and lexical analysis. This would be the first step in natural language processing. It includes basically the conversion of vocabulary into words and expression. Basically, morphology, what is meant by morphology is analyzing, identifying and description of structures of words. It is morphology is outwardly we used to say every structure as a morphology, and basically here the morphology depicts analyzing, identifying and description of structures of words. And here we are going to divide the given text into paragraphs and then words and then into a sentence. These are the two steps we are going to follow. First is it is going to analyze, identify and description of the structure of words, and secondly it is going to divide a text into paragraph, words and the sentences. Secondly, we are going to see with the syntactic analysis. Syntactic analysis is the second step of the natural language processing. In syntactic analysis, we are going to see and to depict the grammatical structure of the sentence. We are going to analyze what is the grammatical structure of the given sentence which being fed as an input. Basically, the words here are transformed into a structure that shows how the words are related to each other. It is used to find the relation between the various words which is given as an input. That would be the main aim of syntactic analysis, to represent and find the relation between the various words being fed as an input. And third step in natural language processing is a semantic analysis. Semantic, basically the meaning is, semantic is meaning of a word, phrases and sentence is called as semantic. Semantic is a term which is used to represent meaning of a words, phrases and sentences. Basically here, what does this semantic analysis do is, it used to depict the dictionary meaning or exact meaning from the context. Basically, the structure which are related by the previous step, semantic analysis produces a structure, and syntactic analysis, what does it do is assign meaning to the structure which is being assigned in the previous step. Syntactic analysis assigned a meaning, and here it redo the works. That is the important work of the semantic analysis. And discourse integration. Discourse integration is generally meant by the sense of the context which we are going to use, and it depicts the sense of the context which is used. Basically, for example, if any sentence is given, it used to check out the sentence which precedes the given sentence and the meaning of the sentence that follow it. That means in what sense the given input refers to. That is the main aim of the discourse integration, to find the sense of the context which is being processed in as an input. Last step in natural language processing is an pragmatic analysis. Pragmatic analysis basically concerns with the overall communicative and social context and its effect on interpretation. Basically, it is used to derive the purposefulness use of the language in situation. It used to depict the use of the language in situation. In this situation, what is the purpose of the language is being fed. In other word, we can say that it is mainly focused on what was said is reinterpreted and what it actually means. What is reinterpreted and original meaning of the context which is being fetched. That is the main aim of the pragmatic analysis. And nextly, we are going to see with an NLG, that is natural language generation. Natural language generation is nothing but the process of constructing the natural language output from non-linguistic inputs. Linguistic means speech or text. Non-linguistic is other than the speech or text, the input is said as a non-linguistic inputs. And natural language generation, the main aim of this natural language generation is, it is the process of developing the natural language output from all such non-linguistic inputs. Basically, the natural language generation has three main parts. First one is discourse planner, second is surface realizer, third is lexical selection. These are the three parts which the NLG has. And various techniques and the methods used in natural language processing. And the first one is machine learning, and the method used is statistical inference. Machine learning, as we all know that machine learning is a learning by the machine itself without being programmally equipped it with the programs. It learned by itself, and deep learning is one of the technology which is being used parallel to this machine learning, and it focuses on the most common cases. And statistical inference is a type of an algorithm used to produce models that are robust to unfamiliar inputs containing words or structure that have not been seen before, and it also makes an intelligent guesses. Statistical inference produce an intelligent guesses in developing the output. And conclusion, in the conclusion part, we are going to see three headings. The first one is comparison of natural language processing with a computer language, and what are the future of natural language processing, and the summary. And here we are going to see the comparison between the natural language and the computer language. Natural language, the main difference between the natural and the computer language is ambiguity. Ambiguity plays a vital role, and the formal programming language are designed to be unambiguous. Programming language are also designed for efficient processing, that is parsing. And also we can see that the human level or human readable natural language processing is an artificial intelligence complete problem. It is equivalent to solve the certain artificial intelligence problems and making computer as intelligent as people. When we see with the natural language processing, it is one of the booming and the trending technology which is useful to solve the various artificial intelligence problems. It makes computer as they can solve the problem like human and think like human, as well perform activities that human can't perform, and making it more efficient than human. Natural language processor, it makes the computer more efficient than human. And also it is most closely related with the growth of the artificial intelligence. As we all know, the artificial intelligence is one of the very interesting, and it is an innovative technology in every field. Now it works based on the artificial intelligence in this real world, and NLP is one of the area which is closely related to the growth of the artificial intelligence. As natural language understanding or readability improves, computers or machines or device will be able to learn from the information online and they learned in the real world. Combined with the NLG, computer will become more and more capable of receiving and giving useful information or data. Okay, whenever the computer gets mingled with this natural language generation, the information which is being received from it and the information which is given out from it is more useful. And this is the thing which is being explained. And the summary, here the summary, basically we have seen the various level of linguistic processing, pragmatic, syntactic, semantic, as well as the discourse integration. And we have seen how the natural language processing is comparatively explained with the computer language, and what are the type automatically learned grammar we have used, and also it compute interpretation based on the learned statistical model. It also makes a more intelligent guesses than humans. And this is a summary we have seen through all out these slides. Thank you. I hope this video will be much useful to you. We'll meet on the next video lecture. Thank you, students.